Crane channeling technique? You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is real. Yes, I do. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the Master Mask case. And during Maggie Bird's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most. The Crane technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know? I mean, the ability to commune with the dead, that's true psychic power, you know? Members of the tradition have always been there, behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such tremendous skill? I suppose so, but... With all that power and influence, I kind of expected you'd be really rich by now. Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? You're very direct, aren't you? We don't believe in it anymore, you see. Well, because of one little mistake. A mistake? What mistake? It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident. That incident? She's talking about what I think she is? I'm sure the records still exist if you're interested. Locked up, of course. It was called the DL6 incident. That's the name of the file. The DL6 incident. I knew it! The DL6 incident. I know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago. That's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on the case. A murder that took place 17 years ago. It was the first time in the country's history the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murder. Right. And the medium who performed the channeling was Mystic Faye, Maya's mother. Through Mystic Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action. But that man was found not guilty, wasn't he? That's right, he was. And the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case the world had ever seen the Korean tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media, the public, the judiciary, the people of Korean village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Mystic Misty's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud. But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all. Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. Crane tradition is starting to recover at last. But with a new master wielding the power of the clan. Does she mean Maya? Family feud. Spiritual power of the Crane channeling technique is in the blood. Maya's told me the exact same thing before. We, the women of the Fae clan, have always been spirit mediums. Because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through us. According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit that power. The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Amy. With each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master. And the ones who don't become branch families, right? That's right. It's always the cause of tragedy. You know, Maya had a sister too. An older sister named Mia. Oh yes, I've heard of her. What? You know about Mia? Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother. And lost her life. As a result. Do you know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition. Really? Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, as she grew up. This Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mum and her aunt. That's right, a Mystic Faye. Mystic Faye? Misty Faye had an elder sister, too. and Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the Master's seat from her. Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know. That I do. Morgan? There's a name I know well. It was a year ago now at Maya's home, Karain Village. What she did was terrible. It was all so she could make her own daughter the next Master. That could be what's going on again. I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must already realize that Iris... Huh? Iris? What's Iris got to do with any of this? That Iris is... Mystic Morgan's daughter. What? Iris is what? Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Fay's daughter? Oh! Oh! Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Fay's daughter? Oops, I thought you already knew. That changes a hell of a lot. Sounded like you'd met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already. I have? I know her very well. Oh? Yes, Pearl Fay. I always thought she was an only child. You jest. A child, she's Mystic Morgan's... I had no idea. Mystic Morgan. She's in prison now, isn't she? Yes. Ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. How does this fit in with the Dahlias? Because Dahlia is a Hawthorne. Adopted? But why? What is going on now? It was all done to set Pearls up as the next Master. This is taking a turn I did not expect. I see. So I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2. There we go. Wait, what? 3? Yes, Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl. What? Twin sister? Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago. After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Karain's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the Master, he left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with him. Oh, what a dick. How awful. He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried. And that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up, to be looked after by us here at the temple. It was Iris, you see. It's unbelievable. But Iris has a twin sister. Could it be? Could you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris's sister? I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler. Oh, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Yeah. Those are 2 older sisters, huh? Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family. Anger? What do you mean? Her twin daughters were taken from her by a jeweler husband. But even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan. That's why she had pearls. Seemed that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. It was able to break free of the bars that confine her. So Iris had a twin sister. The plot thickens. This information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. Need to ask more questions and get some more info. What? Yes. Wait, I can't present that? Well, oh no, it's because I'm not in the right thing. No, I don't want to present that. Material world. Iris had a twin sister. That's really all I know about her. That and the fact that she was taken away from her mother by her jeweler father. Don't have any idea where she is or what she's doing now. I could tell her. But she'd probably have a coronary and a half. Okay, can we... Because we still need something for Edgeworth. Because that's... Like I said, I wanted a clue towards Dahlia, so now I have it. When I think about it, I do kind of feel sorry for Mystic Morgan. It wasn't her fault that her sister was a more powerful spirit medium. Mystic Morgan just couldn't compete with her sister. It must have been really tough on her. Even so, it doesn't excuse all the things she did. No, of course not. Let's go back to Edgeworth. Okay, and... Okay, present. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know that Iris had a twin sister? What? A twin? Can't be serious. Sister Bikini told me. But the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father. A jeweler, I think. A jeweler? Right. I just might know who this twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that, yeah. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right? Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please? It's my first court case, 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn and, due to my inexperience, the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about the case. You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes. Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie is the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh. This is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead. Well, I figured that out ages ago. Come on. What? Well, the metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. Alright then, one way of putting it. What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty. Thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. At the time, Dahlia... It's like she was possessed by a demon or something. That's why the eyes look familiar to Morgan's. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month. Executed? I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. But you understand now. She can't possibly be connected with this case. Yes, she can. Probably more so because she died. She's dead, and once someone is dead, there is no way to revive them. There's no way to revive the dead. I wonder. Seems you're not aware of a connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? It's about Iris and Dolly Hawthorne's mother. What's their mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fay. Spirit medium from a branch family of the Corain channeling technique. Did you say Corain channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh yes. I know it's connected with the fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. But you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Edgeworth. Go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file and you'll know. Of course. How could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. One of them. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then you'll see that the Corain channeling technique is real. Right, now, let's go to the training hall and present the Magatama. Yes, now we have proof. Night of the crime. I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time. You still claim that to be the truth. Yes, that's where I was. Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me, too. But I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder. And we're going all the way back there. Because I just want to get back to that has definitely changed to Dahlia now. Okay, let's brush through this really quickly, because we want to get back to there were two of you. Don't we? So blah 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 blah. Come on. Just want to get back to where we were. Yes. That doesn't add up with your own testimony. Two places at once, which can only mean there were two of you. And it's like blah 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 blah. Show me something that proves there is more than one of me. Dahlia Hawthorne. I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps? That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne, a woman I know only too well. I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer... Yes, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry. Thank you. There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? This second you, who was here at the temple on the night of the murder, it was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne. But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that? Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground of the Corain channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me. There we go. The night of the crime. I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I had been spotted at the inner temple, I knew. I knew it was my sister. Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month. Just as I suspected. The Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because my sister always does the right thing. Excuse me? And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. Can't do it again. What? You betrayed her? What do you mean? That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way. What is she talking about? You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago. That was the start of it all. It's what started her down that twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime. In the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her. How did you betray her, Iris? It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing. What? But I got scared, so I ran away. What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father, that's awful. But I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money. Huh? It was revenge on our father. Revenge? Oh, it's at the top. I was like missing the stick when I was trying to get it. What do you mean by revenge? He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and then sent her to hell. Her mother? You must be talking about Morgan Fay. Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fay family. The main family had a lot of influence in many businesses and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was set to inherit all of that as the next master. It's the reason our father married our mother in the first place. For power. Oh, what a dick. But his plan backfired. Because our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over as the Master of Khura'in. It would be Misty Fay, Maya's mother. But before long, the credibility of the Khura'in tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Mystic Misty Fay, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place, said it was a hick dive and that he had no reason to stay here. And that's when you came here to Hazakura Temple. Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his new family, you see. Oh. I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master's seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family. Heard she's been very battered, spiritually and emotionally. I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together. I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident. Everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fay clan. It does. That's what it looks like. Iris, it's just one more thing I want you to tell me. What is it? During the incident in which your sister, Dahlia Hawthorne, poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. A college student. Have you heard anything about him? Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts. I see. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There is still much to investigate. Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise. Thank you. Suppose I'd better continue my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. Pearl's psych lock. Yeah, I don't think we have enough there yet, still. I do want to present some stuff to you, though, because I'm very much thinking... Where it's going now, it's like... You have clearly met Pheonix before, and Pheonix has clearly met you before. It's like... When he was going on about, like, no, my Dahlia wouldn't do this, my Dahlia wouldn't do that, it's like... Your Iris wouldn't do that. That's who you fell in love with, and she fell in love with you. So if we can resolve this case nicely, they may end up back together, and it may be a nice ending. I want a nice ending for Pheonix. He deserves it after everything he's been through. Could you take a look at this for me, Iris? Yeah! The locks are far more important at this moment, wouldn't you agree? She's right. I'm going to have to hold off on asking her about things for now. Sorry, Mr. Wright. Alright, fine. Well, the only place I can think of we need to go check now, that we haven't been to where we can get some more evidence, is the courtyard. Because we've not been there again yet, so... February 9th, Hazakura Temple, courtyard. Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming? No motive, no crime, no motive, no crime. Sing it with me, no motive, no crime. I remember when we used to search in the channeling room in Karain. Whoop! I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find are no good? That's not what investigating's all about. Investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's a passion. Good cases we have, good cases we've lost. All along the way. I would have never guessed that Gumshoe was into reggae. Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be all airtight. Okay, I would have put all right there because it rhymed, but... Hey, pal. Huh? Who? Me? How long have you been there? I just got here. Okay. So, what are you up to, detective? I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Edgeworth. I promised I would find the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? That Bob's sword thing turned out to be a false lead, right? I'm giving it my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues. It's like, yeah, we've still not found anything that's... a weapon. I just found these weird scraps of paper. Looks like a letter or something. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though. A letter? Like, what letter? The investigation, obviously. How's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know if I should be telling you, pal. But I guess it can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place in the inner temple garden. And they're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ. What? You mean... I don't have the details, pal. All I know is if you don't find Maya down in that sacred cavern, we're gonna be faced with one ugly situation. Kind of ugly situation we looking at here. You got me. I don't know. Not my words, pal. And who said it? Mr. Gadot. Gadot? What do you mean by that? Oh. About the letter you found. Remind me, pal. I'm busting a gut here trying to find the murder weapon. All I find is some burnt-up old letter. Burnt-up old letter? Yeah, it was in the incinerator right outside the inner temple. Oh, yes, of course. Okay, so, be careful. Once night falls, should be there. As soon as you meet the... light? Fight? Oh, no. As soon as you hear the light out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Oh. That's what we need for Pearls. Because she was trying to listen out for the bell. Pearls channeled oh! Pearls channeled Dahlia Hawthorne. Incinerator. I knew it. I knew I wasn't imagining it. There was snow on the incinerator when I first saw it. But after the incident, The snow had melted away, which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder. What's up with you, pal? I've got it right here if you want to take a look. Can I? Do you mind? Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and masters and stuff, but it's got no relation to the case. Spirit mediums? But letter added to the court record. It's got to be important if it mentions spirit mediums and masters. Better give it a good looking over and some serious thought. Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done. Littering's a crime, pal. Oh, murder weapon. So what do you know about the real murder weapon so far? Well, it wasn't the spiky sword that was found impaled in the victim's body. Mr. Edgeworth proved that in court today. Yes, that's true. In which case, it must have been another blade. And that's what you're running around like a headless chicken looking for now, huh? Yeah, man, it's tiring work. But let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We've got the feather of forensics in our cap these days. Right. We're using the department's secret weapon on this. Secret weapon?